sir. We are about to get it started. Just got to get everything up together. All right.
Purchase your tracks today.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to wherever you are in the world. My name is Charles Becco, and today I am your host, and we will be talking about my favorite subject, and I'm sure yours, the stock market. Today, we're just going to be covering just a basic, market forecast, right? Like, where are we going? What are we doing? What are we doing here, right? Again, I'm your host, Charles Becco, founder of Brooklyn Traders, MBA, former financial advisor, yada, yada, yada. And, click the link up in the top there, okay, for the stock market forecast. And the YouTube is live right now. So let's get right to it. All right, so first things first, right? We are at a pretty kind of crazy inflection point here at the Qs, right? I feel as if, we could either really go up or we could really go down from here. It's really hard to tell. I will say this, that the price action has been bullish, okay? The price action has been bullish while the indicators are somewhat mixed, okay? We've had the Vix falling today. Let me show you the Vix, right? The Vix actually continues its move lower, okay? Which, technically is good for the market, right? We are at what I think are like, let's say 20-day lows, maybe even monthly lows, here. Let me see if we're at monthly lows here for the VIX here, right? We initially popped, but yeah, we are at monthly lows here, sitting at 23. We have a very strange day where both SPY, the Dow, the Qs, IWM, which is the worst performer today, and actually the VIX, we're all lower today. Typically, that is a sign of bullish divergence, right? Anytime you see the entire market down and you see the VIX down, that is bullish divergence, right? But let's pay closer attention to the Qs, because this is where all the noise was, right? Here on the Qs, right? Again, it just amazing, right? We were down pretty much it feels like almost every day for 3 months, right? Or every week we were down for 3 months. And now we're getting a nice little bounce, right? In just 2 or 3 days worth of price action, we not only got from, where the 50 was, from way under the 50 and way under the 200 to bouncing up to the daily 50, right? And again, that's just an incredible move on the Qs. And right now, we are sitting on top of the 50, right? We came down to test today. At one point, we were down 1.5%. Market just bounced, and kind of a choppy day, right? If you kind of look at the price action today, just ugly, right? Just, we came down initially, just, how the market was going, we had a little pop to open, faded, hit lows, came down precipitously, and then we had a monster bounce, right? So this was down about 1%. We bounced up 1%, and Jay Powell came out and basically said, hey, we may have to raise interest rates more aggressively and faster than we first anticipated. Then the market went down another 1.5% straight down and actually made new lows. And towards the end here, we kind of chopped around and we closed up not quite flat, but way off the highs and also way off the lows as well. Okay. So this is really choppy price action. This is really good price action for scalpers. But this could give you a big headache if you do not know what you are doing, right? But if I had to lean from one direction to another, I would say that this is bullish. Why? Because of the VIX. Okay. I mean, geez, the VIX came down here to 22.99, right? Which is going to be probably like a 4-month low. Let me see. When was the last time the VIX? The last time the VIX was this low was early February. So excuse me, right? So multi-month low here on the VIX, right? Yeah, that is really incredible. So again, the market internals were just really disagreeing with each other. The market really did not know where it wanted to go. There was a couple big news items here. Okay, I do want to talk about BBIG. There are a couple YouTube streamers out there who believes BBIG is getting ready to launch. Okay, I don't really know all the due diligence, right? But BBIG had a nice little pop today. Okay, up as much as 28% at the highs. So there was BBIG. Big news item today was actually with Boeing. That was down as much as 6% today. Okay, there was a plane that went down in China, and you know, when you saw the plane crash, it was really horrible. I mean, it went straight down. The initial reaction was just, you know, really terribly, right? And pre-market trading around 5 a.m. We had went down to 175, you know, which was probably greater than 7, 8, 9, 10%. And on open, we went down as much as 180, representing like 6.25%. Now, with that, we definitely, you know, got a nice little bounce, okay? And so at one point, we had an intraday pop on Boeing of $11, right? So pretty good to the dip buyers out there, pretty bad to people who open puts. Okay, full disclosure, we are actually short this news on Boeing. We are short here at Brooklyn Traders. I know some members bought strangles in this, and so regardless of how you're playing this, right? Definitely our hearts and prayers are with all of the victims there in China who had loved ones that lost their lives, and we definitely want to give our support to all the rescuers who are helping with the recovery process, right? And so just a little news here. It was kind of hard to really decipher exactly what happened. You know, people were going back and forth. You know, is it engine trouble? Did the plane stall? You know, there's different, you know, theories out there. One of the dominant ones is that this may have been an intentional downing. You know, maybe the pilot, you know, wanted to commit suicide or something horrible like that, and he took a bunch of people with him. We're praying that that is not the case. I mean, any case is bad, right? Whether it's human error or engine failure or what have you. It was a pretty big tragedy, and a nice blow to Boeing as well, who's been working to fix its reputation after its MAX jets were downed a few years ago, right? So that is that on Boeing. Okay, let's check out Apple here. Apple, you know, continues its precipitous climb. It was up as much as 1.25% today, so that was pretty good here on Apple. Again, you know, Apple came down here, came down to about 150, okay, and then bounced precipitously, okay, bounced upwards, so it was pretty good. Bounce off of its daily 200 and I believe its weekly 50, and so Apple continuing its bounce here, so pretty nice move on Apple. If you look on Facebook here, I believe Facebook was down 2.33%. It was off of its lows. Okay, pretty much, you know, Apple, Facebook, Tesla was a very nice mover as well. I think up 3% at the highs and just off of the highs today. And so a lot of these tickers, okay, you know, they've gotten a pretty solid bounce, right? And so the question is this bounce sustainable? The answer that we have is we do not know. Okay. Again, you know, this is kind of, I call these Superman bounces or He-Man bounces. You know, they kind of come out of well, I can't say that they come out of nowhere, right? again, we've been pretty much in a short setup type market where, you short the pops for a while now, right? And so right now, it may look like the trend may potentially be changing, especially if you look here at Tesla. We made a low, we came down here, didn't quite make a higher low, but we made a higher low here, okay, and then we did bounce, right? And so with certain tickers, it looks like there may be a turnaround, but with the broad market, the jury is still out, at least with Tesla here. If we are to pull back, right, look for some support at 863 where the 50 is, and definitely look for some absolute rock solid support close to 850, okay? 863 and 850 here on Tesla. That's where I would be looking for a potential dip buy support if we were to come down and retest those levels. Again, one of the biggest items that no one is talking about is the 10-year treasury that screamed higher after Jay Powell came out and said, hey, not only are we going to have to raise the interest rates north of the forecast, but we're going to have to do it faster and more aggressively than we initially intended, right? And so some of you may remember about a year ago or a year and some change ago around this time, when these treasury yields started turning around, this thing sunk the market, right? I remember when these yields were like 1.3%, and it was said that if they ever got over 1.5, tech would really get hit off of that. And look at where we are, okay? Look at where we are. I actually have a note there. I'm gonna remove, but again, look at from where we were here with these yields, right? Just an incredible move, and based on this alone, we really aren't, or we really shouldn't be very bullish tech, right? But tech continues to bounce, and the treasury continues to bounce with it, right? So as I was saying, some of the traditional indicators that kind of let you know what's going on with the market, they're not exactly working, and so you have to kind of look at price action to be the determinant to let you know what is going on in the market, okay? And so let me just give us a quick reset here. Okay, again, my name is Charles Becco from Brooklyn Traders. Today we are talking about a stock market recap. We want to know, what is the market doing? What is the SPY doing? What is the QQQ doing, right? If you enjoy this content, please follow the club. Follow your host, me. Also, you could hit me up on Instagram and Facebook, okay? We do post a lot of alerts and things like that to Instagram, and so be aware of that. We do have a Discord that we are currently moving to make more private, but if you're interested in still joining, definitely hit us up on the back end and we can let you know how to do so, okay? Now, back to the market here. Okay, so again, based on just this one chart alone, right? This market probably should not be doing what it's doing. But hey, market does what it does. We don't argue. XLF here. So again, treasury's going up. Banks not really doing much, right? Banks are flat on the day, right? So just, the treasury yields going up, and rate hikes should actually give a nice boon to the financials, right? But it's, again, the ETF for the banks are flat on the day, right? So a lot of mixed signals here. So not quite sure what and where and what the market wants to do with itself. But, we're going to check it out. Let's look at SPY here. One thing that I like about SPY, especially based on the weekly time frame, is that some of the bearishness seems to be getting taken out of the market, right? A little bit of the sting is kind of coming out of it a little bit. You can see that the MACD is curling upwards here on the weekly time frame, which is very good. Okay, we do have a quasi triple bottoms here on SPY at around 414, right? And so that does look very good. Let's look at the monthly time frame. Don't really look at it too much, but on the monthly time frame for SPY, right? And just a little bit cause of concern, right? And so it's kind of the reason where I don't necessarily buy into the bounce story just yet. I'm not really quite ready to just back the truck up and go long a bunch of stuff just yet. Just taking nibbles of things that I like. Okay, you guys know what I like, right? Tilray and Uber. We also, put out some alerts on Facebook. We've said it several times during the channel that, hey, we felt that Facebook under $200, you can start nibbling on some long-term shares on Facebook here. So that's that. But the thing that's concerning here, again, for the first time in a long time since the pandemic, we're getting a fresh MACD cross down on the monthly time frame on SPY here, right? And so that is kind of a cause for concern. And so that is that, So I would say, team, in the short term, look for the market to maybe continue higher. Okay, maybe continue to bounce higher. But expect some choppiness as well. Okay. You do see that the 8 is crossing over to 21 here on SPY. So even if we were to come down here from 445, I would expect some pretty healthy resistance. Healthy support, at 437, where the 50 is, and definitely some nice support here at around the 430 area on SPY. And so, team, I just want to thank everyone for being here. Okay. Again, not really sure what the market wants to do with itself, but we will be prepared for whenever it decides to make a real solid move. And so, again, I'm your host, Charles Becco. Follow the group, follow the club. A replay of this meeting will be on YouTube. Please follow our YouTube channel. So, team, that's it. Again, if you would like to join our soon-to-be very private Discord until we shut it down, hit us up in the back end and we can talk about it. All right, team? Thanks, and God bless.
Purchase your tracks.